I just got a notification that I'm on live. Drive-by Troll, you finally broke down and bought my book? What took you so long? Okay, so answering some of the questions. Why no beard? I couldn't take it anymore. Too itchy. Number one. Number two, I can't work on my ear training video because I don't want to have a big beard in my ear training video. So there you go. That's why. I think that was a wise choice. I'm looking more like Rick Astley every day. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. I should have worn my mom jeans. What's up, Joe? You're in Vegas? There you go. Have fun. My nephew's in Vegas this week. I look better. There you go. Was that a new piece? That's on my new record that's going to be coming out one of these days. I got about 2 more pieces to write for it, and then I'll put it out. What happens to Saturday's live video? It got, I don't know, a couple of them have been blocked. The one where I played all those country songs and everything, that got blocked. That was, I played so many, I had like 30 YouTube notices. It's really kind of annoying, actually. So I was gonna do a video today, but I didn't know if it was gonna get through. I mean, I'm actually working on a video that I did not finish, and the one I have coming out tomorrow is Queens of the Stone Age, which I'm pretty psyched about. It's the one I was going to do. I was going to do a Green Day track actually today. I was thinking about doing. Either Boulevard of Broken Dreams or maybe something off Dookie, something, When I Come Around or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so in honor of doing Queens of the Stone Age, I've got this, Joe, you'll see right here, about 2 inches from me. This is my Ampeg V2. This is I don't even know. This is maybe 1972 or something. This is a 50 watt head. It's a monster of a head. And this is the actual cabinet that goes with it, the original cabinet. I've had it for a long time. My mic is blaring, by the way. Yeah, it's probably because I'm holding it here. I've got this power soak here because it's so loud. If I didn't have this, I couldn't sit right in front of it. So this is really great. Amadeo, you're almost to Atlanta. There you go. So the V2 is a cool amp. It's kind of the hold on here. Queens of the Stone Age. A lot of stoner rock bands use amps like Ampegs, Mad Amps, Oranges. There's a whole there's kind of a whole genre of bands that I should do a video on this actually. Fu Manchu. I mean, there's these stoner rock bands. There's an aesthetic that goes with it. What's the reason for that? So Josh plays through. I think he's played through V2s, V4s, or VT22s, or combo amps, or he plays through a V4 bass head. They're basically all the same type amps. They have the switches on them. They have a lot of mid-range. it's but I mean they really crank them up. Um, this thing, when you hear it tomorrow, I'm playing it with my new Dan Electro guitar, and it sounds killer with it. It's really really like the I like the love the mid range of it. It's got a chunkiness to it that I think just sounds incredible. You know, I wish honestly, I wish that my it's not an EL34 had it might be 6V6. I'm not sure. Maybe it's EL34. I don't know. Anybody know what the Ampeg V2s are? It's a 50 watter. It's got two power tubes in it. I know. Um, I'm not sure if Josh plays through a bass amp or not. If he does, I mean, he plays through an Ampeg, pretty sure. And like I said, the Ampeg V4 bass amp is pretty much like they're pretty much like a guitar amp. There's almost no difference between them. Um, but the thing about the amp that I'll show you, you can see here, is that I wish it was in better shape. Honestly, it sounds great, but if you notice the all the writing's kind of worn off on it. It's not, you know, it's not pristine, but you know, what are you gonna do? It sounds great. That's all that matters. I mean, I don't care that it's not pristine, but if I wish it looked a little better, because honestly, it's hard to read. I had to go in with so the V2 is a 60 watt clock. Is that right? You just looked it up. Um, it's a beast of an amp. It really is. Yeah, it's relict. I had to go through with a little Sharpie uh, and write in the you know, volume one, volume two treble, mid range bass. It's very hard to read, but it sounds killer. When you hear it, you'll say, "Oh wow, that's, you know, that's pretty rocking." Um, I had a friend's band that Steve. I can get it resurfaced. Is that refaced? Is that true? Actually, I'd love to have that done. Where would I have that done? Um, what's up, Nari? Um, Steve, please let me know where I can have that done. I would definitely have that done because it just, I mean, it's just hard to read. I don't. I have a couple amps like that the um, that the writing wears off. I don't know why. It's just the kind of paint they use. They're not all like that. Ampegs. They probably got a bad batch of paint or something that that you know, and it just the heat, you know, heat wears it off. Brett, you're on a big Hank Mobley kick. There you go. Who did I know that was talking about Hank Mobley recently with somebody? Not on here though. I forget where. Um, Question: favorite amp models for rock guitar? Amp models or amps? Uh, Always been a fan of JCM 900. Love the little known Mason Nomad. It really depends on what kind of. Uh, it really depends on what you're using it for and what you're trying to do. Um, Tom, Steve Morris used a V4. Yeah, they're you know with a with something to bring the gain down with an attenuator, they're just incredible. They're incredible. And back in the 70s, um, I had a couple friends that had them, and they just sounded ridiculous. I mean, they were so different from Marshalls too, and they would just get these great lead tones. They both one of them played. My friend John played a Les Paul through a V4, but he had an attenuator, and it didn't say attenuator. It was a custom made one that his guitar teacher, who sold him the amp, said you're going to need this because it gets too loud. So he had this silver box with one knob on it, and he would turn it, and the volume would go down. And I'm sure he was cooking the tubes, but man, it sounded incredibly good. I mean, really good. So, yeah, I dig it. I can't imagine bringing it out on tour anywhere. I don't know how people move these things. This doesn't have wheels. Um, they have some of the Ampeg cabinets that have wheels though. That some of the Ampeg 412s actually would have wheels. They're not making that faceplate anymore. Thanks, Steve. Well, thanks for looking into it. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Silk screen, a machine shop usually does. They can remake the metal piece. Okay. Another option, have it laser etched. That's interesting. Radiodays.com. What is that? Is that Nemtal PV6506 Black Star HT Solos? You know, my friend Chris plays the Black Star amps. You guys have seen Chris on here. He's a British friend of mine. He's a Black Star endorsee, but they restore vintage amps. Cool, cool. So my friend Chris endorses them. He's got some of the new ones. I've never played through one, honestly. I've got a 6505 over in the other end of the room, and it's a great amp, and honestly, I haven't turned it on in probably 5 years. I don't even know. I'll play it in the video just to get. I'll have to do something that has a lot of gain, and I'll use it in it, some metal or something. You play Black Star Fly body knowledge, okay? Yeah, don't know anything about the amps. I guess that's a British company, though, right? Is that does anybody know about that? I think Chris said it's a British company, but that doesn't really narrow it down too much. Pantera, okay, I could do Pantera. That I could use my PV for that. Megadeth, I could use my PV for. I actually got the PV6505 when Dave Ellefson was the artist relations guy. Because my old band toured with Megadeth, I called Dave up, or somebody told me that he was the artist guy, and I wrote to him or talked to him on the phone, and he sent me. I got one from them. So but like I said, I haven't turned it on in years. What's up, Rob? Good to see you. Line 6 Helix, 11 Head Rush, Fractal are main choices for musicians. Hope you can give us opinions on those, special in the studio. Well, I have a Fractal. I've got an Axe-Fx in the other room. So, do I have an experience with Sennheiser E609 for guitar tones? Of course I do, Andy. They're okay for the price. I mean, I'm not... Look, Sennheiser had a few different mics. They had the 609, the 906, and the 409, okay? The 409 is really the one that you want to have. I don't have one anymore. They're a gold face. They're a gold face microphone that Daniel Lanois used a lot for guitar. Like the Edge's guitar sound is a Sennheiser 409. They have much better mid-range than the 609 or the 906. 609 and 906 are two different microphones. They're about the same quality. They're okay. You'll see them a lot in bars that people will hang them in front of, speakers and stuff for rock bands. But I don't care for them in the studio. I don't think that they sound great. If you have the budget and can buy and you can buy a 409 and you can find it. You should try and get it. I'm going to look here on Reverb and see if there's any Sennheiser 409s. Let's see here. Because I'm really curious. I haven't looked in years. Let's see here. I've never looked up gear on here before. Did I say it fries the tubes? No, you can fry the tubes when you're using a attenuator because you're hitting the power tubes, like cranking the amp on full. What's up, Chris? What was I looking up? Sennheiser. H-E-I-S-E. I don't like the search bar in Reverb. MD409U3. Here's one on here for $799. I'll show you what it looks like here. Okay. Let me turn the light down here so you can see it. So this is what it looks like. It's like a 409. Well, let's see here. You see that? Darn it. It has a front and back marking on it. The front is gold, like that. There you go. You can see it there. And the back is black. And so it's the same shape as the 906 and the 609, but it's way better sounding. They stopped making them, like I said, in the mid '80s or so. They're not easy to find. You thought I preferred the 421. There's many mics to use for things. 421 is a great mic. You know, it's nice to have choices. The one thing about that particular Sennheiser is that it can handle a lot of top end really well, and it really smooths it out. It EQs them. You think about the microphones as basically like EQs. Why do companies stop making good equipment? That is the name of a video that I'm going to do, Double K. I'm going to write that down right there. That's a perfect topic for a video. Why do companies always stop making good equipment? Give me a better title that's more succinct than that. Why do companies stop making their best gear? Stop making, that doesn't have a good flow. Making their best. It happens with every company. Their best gear, their best equipment, what? I'm not sure it's a planned obsolescence. Discontinues a little bit. Why is there no market for good stuff? Why did great equipment discontinued? Ooh, I like that, Tobin. That's good. Okay, give me some other ones. Great equipment. Hold on. I'm just going to copy and paste it in. This is really helpful. Great equipment discontinued. Okay. Why do companies sell out? No, hold on. Let me see. Why do companies retire the best gear? Retire? I don't know. Let's see. Planned obsolescence, discontinued quality products. Hold on. Products, good stuff gone now. That's pretty good, but that's not. Why do companies abandon great designs? Okay, that's pretty good too. I'm not sure. I like great equipment discontinued with the things. That's pretty good here. Why are the good amps discontinued? Why companies replace great products with worse? Why gear companies suck? Okay, hold on. Why companies replace? Um, why do they replace great quad products? Um, why isn't gears good anymore? Defunct non-musical junk. Click here to find out why Gibson went into pest control. uh, bring back the good gear. Why do they stop making great stuff? That's pretty good too, Alan. Titles are the hardest thing. That's a good. That's a good list right there. I'll give you some. I'll give you some examples. Well, the first one obviously is the Sennheiser 409. The 409 was abandoned for far cheaper. Only the good gear dies young. Oh, that's pretty good. Only the good gear dies young. That's very YouTubey. Answer is too expensive. You know, I don't know. I don't think that people realize that. I don't think it's always obvious when a certain design comes out, and it's. I don't think that they realize it's great stuff. So Sennheiser. Now they still make their classic mics. They've been making the 421 since the 60s or whenever it was, the 50s, forever. They didn't phase that out. They didn't phase out the Sennheiser 441, which is still made. I don't know why, but the 409, which was used by a lot of people, got phased out. They phased out. You know, they created new versions. AKG created. They phased out certain. Well, I know why AKG did it. AKG started using, like their 414s, for example, the microphones that, is one of the big, other than the C12s, the 414s are some of the most common microphones, and they've gone to they have a 414 out now that is really really inferior to the old ones. The BULS is the ones that I have, and the TL2 had a gold windscreen on it, which was discontinued in the 90s. It was the kind of next version of the 414 BULS, but before that they had the 414 EB, extended band or extended bass, I think it was, that had a C12 capsule in it. That's incredibly pricey on eBay. You probably have to pay $2,000-$3,000 or on Reverb or eBay for them with a C12 capsule, and they sound unbelievably good. They discontinued those. They discontinued, foot pedals are another thing. Boss used to make a parametric EQ. And I was looking for one yesterday because I wanted to use it for my video. And it's I'll tell you. And the guy at this used music store that I went to told me I would never find one, which of course, when somebody tells me that, I have to find one. It's the PQ4 Boss, Parametric Equalizer 4. I'll show it to you here. That's what it looks like there. I wish this wasn't so, the screen wasn't so shiny. Oh, you can't see it really. Okay. So the PQ4 is a great pedal that you can't find anymore. I mean, Boss does this all the time. They discontinue stuff constantly. Um, Sometimes innovation kills great gear. What's the best mic for the money these days? You know, it's really hard for me to say what, because I'm not out buying stuff, honestly. Um, I don't buy anything new. I don't buy any new gear. I don't know. I don't buy any microphones ever. I haven't bought a microphone in years and years. So that's that's why. You know, I was trying to show you the mic that Carmen sang through, and I realized that Dylan uses it for his videos. I thought, man, I lost that mic. How could I lose that mic that Carmen used to sing into, the Audio Technica 3060? And then I realized that Dylan has it. So the PQ4 Reverb, $300. Is that right? Is it on there, Sal? Thoughts on the Klon? The Klon is a great pedal. I had Brad Whitford's son in here, who played in a band that I produced. Brad Whitford from Aerosmith, and he had a couple Klons with him that, you know, he had right here in the studio for a while. And I made some recordings with them, but I can't find the sessions. Yeah, Klons are super expensive. Miles, Dylan makes videos. He makes gamer videos. Several PQ4 pedals on eBay. You know what? I looked on Reverb. I didn't look on eBay because I don't really buy anything. I don't buy anything on eBay anymore, really. But there's, you know, there's many cool vintage mics out there. There's many cool vintage pedals. There's a lot of things that are kind of secret weapons that people, you know, people don't know about. I'm going to do a show with Rhett and Dave where we talk about this stuff, where we talk about vintage gear like that. I would spend, this is no lie, when Dylan was a baby, I would spend, when he and Lennon were babies, I would be up all night. Just because they cry and you get woken up. And I would look everywhere on the internet for gear. Just, I couldn't stop myself. I was addicted to it. I just could not stop looking for gear, buying gear, and selling gear. In my sessions that I was doing, I'd be sitting in the back of the control room. My assistant Ked would be engineering, and I'd be searching eBay for gear, just constantly. Just for anything. I would I mean, it just was crazy. I'd be gear acquisition syndrome is right, Ray. I would get on GuitarCenter.com at 3 in the morning, though, because they'd be updating their things. They'd be putting stuff in the system, and then you'd go and you'd call the places in the morning when they open. Like I find something in California or something, you know, some just thing that got priced. I'd look for stuff that got priced wrong. I would always do that. And then all of a sudden, probably about 6 years ago or so, I just stopped. Did I need the gear or did I wanted it? I didn't need the gear. I didn't. I had a friend named Rob Rob Wodarczyk. Rob was one of my students at Ithaca that worked in the Guitar Center here. And Rob was great because I bought a lot of stuff from him, but he would say to me, "You don't need that." I'd go in, I'd find something used there in their pro audio department or whatever, and Rob would talk me out of stuff all the time. If I needed something, he would say, "Yeah, oh, this is a good deal." He would call me, but he would say, "Rick, you don't need that. Don't buy that." He would talk me. A guy at Guitar Center would talk me out of buying stuff. You don't need that. You already have that. You have that 5 times over. Why do you need this amplifier? Why do you need that? Rob was great, really great. So he really kept me from buying a lot of stuff, but I never search for gear anymore, and it's I don't know why I stopped. I think honestly I just got to the point where I just started selling stuff. I started selling everything I didn't need, and I got down to basically the bare essentials. And my assistant Ken was very good about it. He would say the same thing too. He would say, "We don't need that." He'd say, "We don't need that for the studio. That amp there, every time we put it up, doesn't sound good. Let's get rid of it." Okay, cool. I hit rock bottom, Ray. I did. So yeah, I talked to a guy today about an about an amp, about getting an amp for that's like a endorsement thing and everything, but I don't want to spend the money he wants. He doesn't want to give it to me for free. I don't want to spend the money, even though I'd use it for a video, and it would, amp is a really good amp. So, Joe, random question. Did I get a chance to check out Adam's 1 hour live stream composition? I think it's a collaborative composition feed, both of you and some Nari would be very cool. I don't know. I think that I think that the live compositions, I'm not sure what that proves. It's a nice idea, Joe, but especially collaborations with multiple people is I've done a million co-writes, done them for years. I don't need to do them live on YouTube. You can do We Are the World, and it's not I didn't see Adam's or anything yet. I saw Adam's video yesterday. That he did a video, an April Fool's video as well, and I put a comment on there saying awesome. It was a funny little 30-second video. He did a video like I did basically, and if you go and look at the comments, there are some of the most foul comments on there. Ray, you should go read them. Go to Adam's video from yesterday and look up. There's a troll on there. Look at the stuff that he wrote about me, about Dylan. Go read it. You want to see what people write on the internet? And it's not funny, actually. It's not funny. It's really it's so foul, the stuff that he wrote on Adam Neely. Yeah, go look at it right now. Go look at what this guy wrote. Some Carl Sagan something name, some kid. This is beyond trolling. And the fact that Adam lets comments like that stay in there is really, I'll talk to Adam about it. Yeah, of course, about my kid, about me, about everything. It's you saw all that, right, Marshall? And Adam doesn't. I busted the guy's chops, and Adam said savage. I think Adam is afraid to say anything, frankly. And Adam's a very nice guy. He's not a He is not a he doesn't have an aggressive personality. He but the fact of the matter is that you can't let stuff like that. Yeah, of course, Dylan. Yeah, you can't let people. You can't let people put stuff like that in your comment stream. It actually poisons your channel. And people don't want to leave comments on there. Now, I don't care about these trolls, but I will not. Who's Adam's administrator? Adam. Adam obviously reads the comments. When I put my comment up there to this kid, Adam immediately responded. So he obviously reads them. And people do not want that kind of BS in a comment stream. That's why you have to ban these people. And I will never comment on an Adam video again because of this, because Adam doesn't police this stuff. And I love Adam. He's a great guy, makes great videos. But the fact that he doesn't police his comments like that is really offensive. You're reading it now, Air Guitar, right? Go read it. I want everybody to read it. I want everyone to read it here. Please go over there and read it. I'll take our time here. And when you let people get away with that, Adam should just delete that, but he doesn't, you know. It's the 8-second Simpson video. So he reads the comments and he leaves them up there. I mean, they're gone. Anybody says anything like that? Because it makes people not want to leave comments, you know? It has nothing to do with waste your time. It's actually, Adam lets that kind of stuff go all the time. He does. That's just in his comment feed. You know, Amy commented on there, Amy Nolte. And I'm surprised that nobody said anything to her. I didn't actually go back and look or anything, but nobody had said anything to her yet. Well, I can't report somebody like that. I don't think I can report anyone. But body knowledge, you see, this is wrong. This is wrong. Too much attention does not give too much power. No, what takes away the power is by blocking them. You should read it. Don't turn your head away from this stuff, you know? You got to, you can't bury your head in the sand. And you can't say, oh, don't worry about trolls. No, this is really hate speech or incredibly offensive, you know. It's not, which video? It's Adam's video from yesterday. It's the Simpsons video that he did. It says yes, it does the lick. Say the lick, Bart, or whatever. And Adam's comment stream is pretty much like that, where the people insult him all the time, and he doesn't care about it. So you don't ignore people like that. You don't. You do not ignore stuff like that. I don't ignore stuff like that. Not seeing it. Look for my comment. That's how you find it. Yeah, you can report it. It doesn't do anything. Adam has to delete it and ban him. Why do people hate Adam? No, there's just some people are trolls, and Adam doesn't do anything about the trolls. So, did I engage him with a comeback? I engaged him with one comeback. Um, uh, it's I ban trolls all the time. Why do you think there's no stuff that's offensive like that on my channel? None. No one has to worry about commenting on my channel that they're going to be confronted with that. My kids can read any of the comments on my channel. I mean, I don't want my kids, being exposed to that kind of BS. I'll call Adam. I'm going to tell him too. But it's really it's disappointing, I think, and ultimately, all it does is just debase. It just debases his. He just has tons of these people on there, and and the top comment on there is incredibly insulting to Adam. Trolls drive away people, J-Bone, that's right, who are genuinely interested in teaching. Well, my friend Pat went over there. He saw it. He made a comment on it. My friend Pat is knows Carl Sagan's son, who's good friends with, knew Carl Sagan's wife really well. The internet's full of those people, Javier, but they're not. My channel's not full of them. And Adam is not overwhelmed by it, body knowledge. Adam sees these things. It's not hard to read the comments. You can read them in about 3 seconds. People aren't writing tomes, It's I want people to read it. I want people to read it. So it's, Adam wrote savage. Adam read the comments and read my comment back to the kid or guy or whoever he was. And yeah, you can get 5,000 people watching a live stream and it's going to be a tons of trolls. They'll post wherever they can. So very of color, but you see much worse. Oh, I've seen worse. I've seen or that bad on my channel. I shaved. I already went into it. Trolls need to feel loved. You wonder why they do it? Yeah, I mean, but like I said, you don't find it here. You don't find it here. It's Jesus, just read it. Don't mind this. Oh, I don't mind this clown. I mind that Adam allows that stuff. So, do you think having taught that you have less tolerance for trolls? It doesn't matter whether I've taught or not. I just have no tolerance for trolls. But The video I'm referring to, Richard, is the one from yesterday that Adam put up that has Bart Simpson on it. It's an 8-second video or something like that. The Simpsons, right. Ignore the trolls. In the end, Adam do music his own way. I don't know what that means, Tom. Yeah, no idea what's happening. Did you get many many trolls on April Fool's video? No, not at all. No, I get rid of trolls, but I don't get trolls. You know what I mean? People know that those kind of comments aren't on my channel, so they don't leave those kind of comments because they're yeah, trolling with Aiden's name. But honestly, that you know, that kind of thing is you know, says, I mean, it just says a lot about your channel. So many people put on their personas for videos, Rick. You being you make this channel great. Rick rolled you. Okay, there you go. Yeah. A lot of YouTubers, that's the problem right there. John said it. A lot of YouTubers are afraid to engage with these people because they think it'll cause more drama and lose viewers. That's exactly right. Their inaction is costing them more. That is absolutely right. That is the ultimate thing here. Is that it actually hurts. Don't engage, exterminate. RM is right. And it does spread like a disease. I'm going to talk to Adam about it, you know. But if you make them angry, trolls win. Ban and ignore. That's it. That's the thing. Ban. You don't have to ignore. Banning them, it takes care of it. That's it. Can I ask Adam directly? Adam's a good friend of mine. Of course I can. What do you mean ask him? I'm going to tell him. I talk to Adam all the time. Not all the time, but I, you know, talked to him 2 weeks ago. He's if you look at his comments though, it's littered with trolls. And trolls, you know, you can get a lot of you can let the comments, you know, you can get thousands and thousands of comments. If people there's plenty of people that have really insightful things that they would want to comment on a channel like that, that they won't. When someone reads those comments, they are not going to want to comment on something like that. Lowering the bar of commentary steers the discourse down the drain. Action needs to be taken that will brick the higher brow back tenfold. You just read that, Robert. Yeah. Easier to ban than for a troll to keep changing accounts and continue trolling. People don't come back when they've been. There's one guy that came back here, that came back on this channel. I'm not sure how. He probably started new email. He probably started new accounts. Eventually, it becomes too much of a pain. People don't want to do that. So, but. So that's why I'm really, why yeah, you just ban them immediately, Steven. That's it. That's what I do. I want my kids to be able to read the comments sections without having to see anything like that. David asked me about Dweezil. I'm going to see Dweezil on Saturday. YouTube's comment section will become a field of weeds. I like that. That will choke out all the useful discourse if not tended to. Banhammer. Boom. Ralph, your friend Adam publishes troll crap here. He is in support of their insanity. Who does that? Ramon, seems like he has not planned the administration of his comment feed as his channel has blown up. Well, look, my channel has 90,000 less subscribers than Adam's. 2 months ago, it had 160,000 less. I get as many comments as Adam gets. Probably no, I probably don't because he has so much trolling going on. But the comment section, if you don't tend to it, you will get overwhelmed by it. And then people do comment spamming where they'll go through they'll comment on every comment on your thing into all the. You'll see reply after reply, and they'll troll people. I call them comment spammers, where they'll comment multiple times, and they'll go to all your videos and comment, so that people get notifications on it. Anyway, so dox him. That will scare trolls. YouTube, Facebook, Google want revenue but will not take the responsibilities. Adam can set parameters for those words. That's the other thing, is that any type of cursing or anything like that goes into my spam folder immediately. I have all those words that you never want to see in my spam folder. So none of those things get on here. So all those words that guy used in the comment thread immediately goes into your spam folder. But Adam doesn't use any spam filter, obviously, for that. YouTube just deletes the stuff out. Anytime anyone swears on here, I have to approve your tweet. Anyway, so yes, their lack of creativity. I know, Tom. They can't even creatively insult people. Hey, Peter, how's vacation? Double K, it's the 7 words you can't say on YouTube. That's the thing, is that if you just have that filter, what's interesting is Adam's comments are littered with cursing, but he rarely curses. Anyways, it's rainy in Hawaii. Oh, that's no good. They need to learn from the master. There you go. So, anyways, okay. So enough about that. Do I cuss? Not on here. No, never. No one's ever heard me, right? Blanketed in pollen in ATL, that's for sure. A staunch free speech guy is Adam, perhaps. Adam doesn't care about that. Um, that and politics, never. You never hear me talk about politics, right? Does it help if you watch the ads, Robert asks? I don't think it helps, honestly. I don't think so. And thank you for those of you that do watch them, but Jay, you sent me an email. Send it to me again. J-Bone, send me an email again. My viewers are older than Adam's. Probably not. Maybe a little bit, but you know, my biggest demographic is 24 to 35, or 25 to 34. So it's probably about the same. Thoughts on Ban in the Box for practicing? You know, they sent me Ban in the Box. Somebody sent me Ban in the Box, but it seemed ridiculous. I couldn't figure out how to make it work. We are older and wiser. $15, look at that. 15-year-old. 37. iReal Pro. I have iReal Pro. I don't use that. All right, Brett. Good seeing you, man. Larry, you're double my demo. I'm double my demo. 39, 63, 35, 25, 27. See? 46, 63, 42, 36. Put up the ages. Let's see here. 42, 55, 41, 41, 55, 67, 39, 59, 50, 35, 32, 45, 62, 39, 63, 74, 47, 48, 18, 31, 63, 63. This channel definitely skews a little bit older. David, okay. Man. We got some 27, 23, 55. David, 74. Cool. 15 years old. You have underwear older than Timothy, let's see, 47, 60, Peter, 48, Tom, 60, Young, 60, 200 push-ups a day. That's awesome. Let's see, 32, 25. 64 next Saturday. Happy birthday. 67, 80. I love that. There we go. 55, 62, 63 with 9 kids. Woo! George, you're 65, 40. Chuck is 56. 47, Marshall. 63, Jack. Body knowledge. So the average looks about 50 years old. Yeah, that's probably right. It's definitely higher on this channel, no question about it. Um, definitely. Asif, you're definitely the youngest. Rick, you need to loosen up more. Makes us all happy. Double scotch every night. There you go. Cemetery Village. um, look at the utility to see the demographic. I'll tell you actually, demographic of this channel in comparison. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, so my other channel, this is interesting here. Audience. Okay, so my main channel is 25 to 34 is 31.5%. 18 to 24 is 17.5. 35 to 44 is 21.9. 45 to 54 is 15.2. 55 to 64, which is mine, is 8.2. And 65 plus is 4%. 13 to 70 is 1.8%. So 45 to 54 is smaller than 18 to 24. Okay, so my second biggest demo is 35 to 44, 21.9 or 22%, and then 18 to 24, 17.5, 45 to 54. So they're pretty close. But yeah, 25 to 34. That's on my other channel. So let me check this channel. This channel is, let's see here, analytics. Let's see here, audience. Okay, so look, check this out. Audience in this channel, 18 to 24 is 7.4%. 25 to 34 is 24.2. 35 to 44 is 20.1. 45 to 54 is 25.2. 55 to 64 is 17.6, and 65 plus is 5.5. So my biggest demographic here is 45 to 54, but it's pretty much tied with 25 to 34. 35 to 44 is at 20%, so actually lower. This is really interesting. So my demographic here is not that different. Yeah, I mean, I've reached kids. I mean, 25 to 34, that's my biggest demographic on both channels, pretty much. So, Mark, why? You mean why? That's probably, Tyler is right. That's probably YouTube's biggest demo too. But are you guys surprised? Who's surprised at that? I'm not sure what YouTube's demos are. My demo is very wide. It's I mean, they're pretty much all even. The you know, from man, from 25 to 55 is pretty much all even. And then my 18 to 24 and 65, that's on that channel, but on the other channel, let's see the young ones. The audience here. 18 to 24 in the other channel is 17.5%. It's bigger than my audience. 45 to 54 is 15.2%. So 35 to 44, 21.9. So really my demographic in the other channel is 18 to 44 is my biggest. Well, 18 to 55. They're pretty hire Cambridge Analytica to analyze your target subscribers. Scooby-Doo. It's the only YouTube channel you've ever gotten stuck to. There you go. South of 34 barely remembers guitars and drums. True. What percentage of viewers have main career in music? That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. Let me see here. I don't. Just switch the stream to Facebook. What's the gender breakdown? Oh, it's like 90-something% male. Timothy, orchestral violinist, violin teacher, music blogger, music hobby, engineering. Ask everyone's career. What's everyone's career? I want to see this. Professional guitarist, teacher, hobbyist. Started working in the music industry. It's in metadata now. Let's see here. Partner studio, contractor, semi-pro, country singer, uncompensated educator, college for music composition, landscaper, high-tech, AWS admin, programmer, developer, renovator, IT consultant, session musician, audio engineer in Colorado, pro guitarist, salesman, instructor, sound designer, labor learner, producer, carpenter, guitar teacher, live music performer, editor, metadata, unemployed, stagehand, backline. What happened to the beard? I shaved it. Accountant, manager, gas station, molecular biologist and mass spectromologist, retired IT, part-time guitar, retired computer, welder, machinist, wannabe engineer, server, studio. This is fascinating. State lottery, hacker. Okay, there you go. Professional lazy man, took a lifetime to perfect. Guitarist, guitar instructor, barber. Purple pick. How's my hair look? I'm trying to decide if I should go on a 4-week or 5-week haircut. I need some advice. Professional troll, Subi, I know that. Musician, neurobiologist, that's amazing. Economist, doctor, I know Peter's a doctor. Hospital management, import, export, air guitar, jazz professor. How many are actually true? I bet these are pretty much all true. Steel drum, sit down comedian, sit down comedian. Looks awesome. I'm trying to figure out if it's if I should go 5 weeks or 4 weeks. Cut when you change your guitar strings. Oh man, my hair would be down to here then. It's like never. Hair's great. You have some. Oh, brother. Apple hardware designer, dreadlocks, 4-week haircut. Easy to remember last time you had it cut. Yeah, 4 weeks. Okay. I've been going 5 weeks. It's really, it's, changing strings. Yeah, I never change strings. 5 weeks, save bucks on to buy a mic. Oh, brother. Feel like a slightly rumpled look, go 5, otherwise 4. Okay, 4. So that seems to be the Tom, hoping to work on 3D animator, yes. Music professor, critic, there we go. Ray, convenience store owner, farmer, worship leader, guitarist, awesome. Wallet inspector. You should change strings, don't be lazy. You know, I like dead strings. David, you get your head polished every 2 weeks. Sound designer, field recorder, cool. Hello to Austin, David. I love Austin. I almost moved there. If I had moved there, I know I look younger without a beard, purple, because my assistant Carol said, "Oh, you look so much younger without the beard." Lots of interesting people watching. That is very true. Former prosecutor, George, still practice. Fantastic. If I had moved to Austin, I wouldn't be here right now. If Larry, retired, multiple careers, electronic tech, mathematician, ops research, aka scientific analyst, retired USAF, 11 years enlisted, 10 years commission. Fantastic. That's great, Larry. If I had moved to Austin, if my friend Doug had not been here when I stopped by here, because I stopped by Atlanta on my way to Austin, I was moving to Austin. I called my friend Doug, my old college roommate, who was working here. He went to Emory Law School. I called him, and he was there at his office, and he said that this is in 1994, end of 94. He said, "Come on over to my office. Well, let's go have lunch." It was noon or so. So I went over there, and not a friend named Doug. I went over there, and he got me a gig that night playing in town with his buddy Francisco. And Francisco basically made me stay here. Doug told him that he needed to get me to stay. So Peter asked, doesn't Matheny like dead strings? Yes. He would not change them. I want to say that he got that from Mick Goodrick, because Mick, when I studied with Mick, never changed his strings. And he would have these inverted mountain ranges under them. Oh, man. He would work on his of grime under his strings. He'd laugh about it. He would set his intonation every day. Mick was obsessive about that. He was really, really obsessive about that. But Matheny never changed strings, and a lot of producers don't. There's a lot of bass players don't change strings. They'll just leave them on forever. Pat plays flat wounds. Mick did not play flat wounds though. Pat plays the Diodario Chromes, the 11s gauge. So I prefer, for playing jazz, I like to play flat wounds. But bass strings, I change my bass strings because you don't get the bottom end. If you need extension, low end extension, you need to have new strings, because bass strings lose their low end really fast. But Brendan O'Brien is phenomenal producer from the 90s. He never changed his bass strings ever. He'd leave them on for years and years. And one day he let somebody borrow. I remember hearing the story. He let somebody borrow his bass, and they were, "Oh, I changed your strings for you." And he was like, "No." So anyways, yeah. So I don't change. I do play flats only on my one jazz guitar. All my other guitars are round wounds. But flat wounds can go on forever, yes. And I love flat wound strings. Flat wounds build up with gunk, that's true. Philip, I keep flat wounds so they don't hold tune anymore. Pat Martino Gios flat wounds, okay. Pat uses flat wounds, Eric, yes. Did you get the blonde guitar set up? Not yet. Dave, who was supposed to come over here, never wasn't able to. The Beatles use flat wound strings on their acoustics. Okay, how many of you knew that? There's a guy from my hometown that wrote a book about the Beatles gear. His name is Oh, jeez, what's his name? He has a book out on the Beatles gear and on the Rolling Stones gear. He's an expert at it. He used to play in a band called the Chesterfield Kings. So the Beatles used flat wound strings. So I asked him about the Beatles sound, and he said, "Oh, flat wound strings on acoustic." I said, "What?" So, oh yeah, totally. What do I use for 12 string? Whatever. Whatever. Tom, you would change your strings every night when you're on the road? You know what? When I was on tour, I changed my strings every night because they would break. Because I'd sweat. Andy, that's right. Andy Bubic. Is that his name? Or Bubic? I'm not sure how he pronounces it. But yeah, so Andy is an expert in the Beatles and the Stones. He interviewed the Beatles. He went and he photographed all John Lennon's instruments, all George Harrison's, all Ringo's drum sets. He told me he went to a storage place in London or something, and he had a guy that went there that met him that took care of all Ringo's kits, and they brought them all out. And he said that they had, like McCartney's bass had a set list on it. Ringo told him that he never changed his drum heads for the entire. A couple of the drum sets he had, he just would never change them for the entire Beatles career. Any thoughts on George Martin, greatest producer of all time? He also worked at the House Guitars, Amadeo. That's exactly right. That's where I know him from. He worked at the House Guitars back in the 70s. And my old band, the Monroes, used to open for the Chesterfield Kings in the 70s. So there you go. LaBelle flat wound 12 string set, nails, hard day, nice sound. There you go. That's why you don't hear any fret noise on any of those Beatles. You don't hear any squeaking on those Beatles records. Did George Martin produce any other bands other than Beatles? Yes, he produced Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. He produced America's first record that had Horse with No Name and all those songs on it. He produced he produced other records that were successful records. He was, great. Okay, wait, I'm going on too long here. I need to, flat wound equals no squeaking. That's right, Miles. No squeaking. We used to boil our strings too when we were cheap. I boiled my strings before. He did not produce Oasis. Okay, I got to go here. I got to get back on my video here. And you guys are awesome. You found the book, J-Bone. It's a great book. All the Fab Four's instruments from Sage to Studio. And Andy has a book on the Rolling Stones that's unbelievably thorough. Good night, everybody. You guys are the best. The best.